Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. This is Rumboyz After Dark, and it's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. Said a whole lot of Rumboyz right there during that intro. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an action-packed show for you. I really can't express my excitement much more for you guys than right now in this moment. We are just about a week and a half-ish away from NFL kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. Regular season is here. The moment that you guys have all been prepping, training, asking a lot of Q&As, diving into Rumboyz After Dark, getting all the content this whole summer, this whole off season is finally about to start paying off. So make sure you guys stay tuned tonight because we are going to make sure that your night is very bright. We're going to be dropping a whole lot of analysis, a whole lot of comedy, and also taking you guys' questions with plenty of answers in return. But first things first, we got to make sure that, we pay the bills. I am in the in-laws' house, so I guess tonight we're paying someone else's bills. With that aside, first thing that I want to remind all of you about is the Stacks app. Okay, download the Stacks app at stacksapp.io. Again, that is stacksapp.io. Just put it into your Safari, just put it into your Google search, and then it'll pop up and download for either iOS and Android. Guys, with this app, you can direct connect to any fantasy analyst via video, ask a question, we'll be able to respond to you. Also, this season, there's going to be some celebs on the app, so you definitely are not going to want to miss it to be able to hear from some of your favorite athletes and, celebrities and so on and so forth in regards to what's happening around the NFL. So make sure you download the Stacks app, stacksapp.io. Next thing I want to remind you guys about is monkeyknifefight.com. Also, the Monkey Knife Fight app, available on iOS and Android. Make sure that you utilize promo code Rumboyz right there. You see it, promo code Rumboyz in all caps. It is case sensitive. We're going to match you on your very first deposit all the way up to $100. Okay? You want to put down $100? The team and I, we're going to match you on $100. You want to put down 20? We'll match you on that 20. You want to put down 50? We'll match you on that 50. But all the way up to $100, the gang and I, we're going to match you. So make sure you guys get on over to monkeyknifefight.com. Promo code Rumboyz. Monkey Knife Fight app available on iOS and Android for all your daily fantasy player prop needs. If you are into player props and you want to prop it like it's hot, then get on over to monkeyknifefight.com. You already know we're going to uphold our word. We're going to match you on at 100%, all the way up to $100. Dilly. Finally, last but certainly not least, this is probably the most important sponsor of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. I want to shout out to my homies over at Pro Football Focus and my homies over at All 22. That's right, all22.com. Make sure you guys get on over there. The brand new platform for fantasy football that allows you to get points and to reciprocate the benefits on all them pancakes coming from the O-line. You want to get linebackers on your team and DBs, all that good stuff. You are drafting all 22. It is your Madden franchise mode in the palm of your hand, ladies and gentlemen, with fantasy football. Time to get skin on every piece of the game with all 22. And listen, right now, all right, between now and kickoff, with promo code Rumboyz10, we're giving everybody promo code Rumboyz10, all right? Again, promo code Rumboyz10, we're giving everybody 80% off. You're going to be able to get all 22 for $9.99. That's right, $9.99. My friends over at all 22 and the Rumboyz, we'll hook you up 80% off. Promo code Rumboyz10. Make sure you guys get on over there. We'll have to have our producer change that at the bottom of the screen. It should say promo code Rumboyz10 between now and kickoff. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go ahead and set this damn thing off. We set it off harder than Jada Pinkett Smith and Queen Latifah. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's Rumboyz After Dark. Let me introduce you to... He is a patron saint of fantasy football. Give it up for Saint Pat FF. What's good,
What's
bro?
up, pimps and players? It's St. Patrick FF. I don't know why I said that, but I'm here to party. Let's have a good night.
Hey, it's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, representing the Rumboyz Fans Network and also going for two. Y'all give it up. He's going to drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop the mic, FF.
What it do? What it do? Let's get this party started!
Oh, you got him? Wait, there we go. I got it. There we go. What's up, Mike?
What's up? Let's get this party started. Woohoo!
Let's get this party started, right? Let's get this party started swiftly. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, he is representing the Dr. Roto crew. And also, you guys can catch him tweeting out everything about Pros with Joes. You guys can check him out there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Eric Romo.
Hey, yo. Rumboyz After Dark, Dilly Dilly.
Hang on.
Let's get it.
Dilly, freaking Dilly.
What's good? What's good? Oh, Eric, can you hear it? Can you hear us?
Yeah, we're here, man. Let's do it.
Hell yeah, let's go, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly definitely not least, this man has recently started following me. I met him through a Twitter space that I was doing with my 32-bit fan. Make sure you guys also like, comment, subscribe over to 32-bit, the Rumboyz brother channel. He got to ask some questions in front of myself, Maddie, Marcus, and the whole team over there at 32-bit.
I was
went from being a follower to now being on the show. Y'all give it up for the homie Nick.
What's going on, guys? Thanks, Robbie. Thanks for having me on. Eric, St. Pat, Mike. Let's do this.
What's up? Let's go.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Hey, y'all already know how we gotta do, man. This is a Rumboyz Fantasy Network tradition. We gotta set this thing off right. Hey, yo. Before we get into the analytics, before we get into the comedy, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do? Dilly, dilly.
Dilly, dilly.
Boink.
Cheers, boys.
Let's go.
All righty. Let's get into it. I see we got Jamie up in the chat. I see we got hell no, hell yeah up in the chat. The homie KM, what's good? What's good, Karam? I see we got Albert also up in this thing as well. Fellas, let's go ahead and let's get it popping. First thing that I want to talk about is you guys can, if you're not involved in any one of these leagues, give us your perspective on what you're expecting to see content-wise out of these leagues. We have a couple of big things happening here at the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. We have our Twitter versus Facebook Fantasy Football League. That one's going down. That's drafting right now.
And you are
as
on
we
the
currently
clock.
speak. I am on the clock. I will make a pick during on air.
I want to make sure
Here in a minute. Hey, Jamie, big happy birthday to AJ. Dilly to AJ from the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Let's go. Happy birthday. Have the Facebook versus Twitter group. We have our Pros versus Joes draft that is getting ready to come up. Eric's going to be able to explain about that a little bit more here in the coming moments. But also, Pat's going to roll some film. I want you guys to meet the cast and crew of the Rumboyz Colorado Springs Invitational. I took 12 guys that have no idea who each other are. They have never met each other. And kind of like on some real world shit, I threw them all into a fantasy league, a house. And this season, you guys are going to get some content and hear these guys trash talk and see what they're all about. Let's go ahead and meet the crew. Is that rolling?
I just want to know why there's no lifeguard on duty.
I did get thrown in the pool. I did get thrown in the pool during that live draft, and maybe I needed one because I was too busy trying to keep my brand new tat out the water to even worry about the fact that I just got thrown into water. What do you fellas thinking? Let's start off with the reality TV league. And Pat, I'll let you lead off. What are you expecting out of these guys? None of them have even drafted 2 QB super flex.
It's eye opening when you change formats to something like super flex. The first time I did it, Mahomes should have been the universal first overall pick. Didn't made it all the way to pick 8 in my first ever super flex league because no one knew what to expect with it. In terms of people not knowing each other, that's not as big of a deal as many people play it out to be. But I think it's going to really make some interesting content when it comes to trash talk and really getting under people's skin. Because some people can get up in their feelings a little bit, and that can really impact their decision making.
And that's kind of one of the things, like with this production that I'm excited to see. We will be packaging this up, and shipping at the end of the season. We'll be shipping it off to an NFL network to see if we could give them their first ever reality TV show ever. Period, in any format, not just fantasy football. So that's something that we're trying to bring new to the table. I'm excited to see who's going to get in their feelings first. I kind of already started toying with some feelings in this league when I traded Dalvin Cook away for Javonte and God and win in his name. So, we're going to see, and it's just now heating up. Mike, what are you expecting to see from these guys? They've never done this.
The fact that they don't know, they've never done it with Superflex and everything, and the fact that you're in charge, I'm expecting pure chaos, and I love it. And I hope the guy wearing the Mahomes jersey wins, period.
Jordan, the homie Jordan, he's actually written some articles for Rumboyz.com in the past. So big ups to Jordan. He used to cover back in the day, way back in the day. He used to cover a lot of our Chiefs betting odds and stuff like that. In our Chiefs fantasy perspective. So, big ups to him. I see that you already are favoring someone within the house. I don't know if that's allowed.
That's
you
purely
guys,
just on what he walked in with. I mean, if he wasn't wearing a jersey, I would have said, who cares?
Hey, you guys as the viewers, you guys favor who you want to favor. You guys are going to be getting to see interviews from every single one of the cast members here in the upcoming week. So you'll be able to get to know each and every single one of them on a personal level. And then you can really pick who you're cheering for. Eric.
Man, I think this is a really cool idea. I think it's going to be a ton of fun to watch. And the thing for me, like you mentioned, like who's going to get in their feelings first, right? Like I'm in plenty of group text where people are just habitual line steppers as it is. Now you make it in person. You make it a bunch of people that don't know each other like that. Like I think it's going to be fireworks. Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, bro, I'm excited. I'm excited to see everyone's confessionals. There's also going to be weekly prizes, bi-weekly prizes that'll be given away throughout the league. So some guys are going to win some autographed jerseys. It may be me filling up their tank for a week. It may be, hey, here's an autographed game ball, whatever the case. But we're going to have weekly prizes as well as there's also $300 on the line end of season for these cats, all here in Colorado Springs. And I purposely made it here in Colorado Springs to where everyone was able to go to each other's houses, set up cameras, make film, shit like that. So it's going to be really interesting content. Nick, your thoughts?
I actually just did a super flex last week and it was kind of interesting. Guy took a QB in the last round and only drafted one QB. So for these guys not knowing what they're doing, it's pretty interesting. A lot of guys thought that JT was going to be first off the board, but it was actually Josh Allen. So pretty cool. And I'm calling it now, man. The guy with the Micah Parsons jersey is taking it home.
So Nick, you're a Cowboys fan, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how does it feel sometimes to be having to live in the 90s? Which as far as I know is 30 years ago.
It's horrible, man. It's horrible.
Wait,
man.
who had to live in the 90s? Because I'm living in the 90s with this fucking internet down there.
Nick is a Cowboys fan.
Me as a Cowboys fan. It's tough, man. I always say to all my friends, this is the year. Just like, I don't know, man. So
You're a masochist, Nick. We're just getting to know you, and we already know that you're a masochist. Whips and chains excite you. You know, hey, that's the equivalent of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'll say right now, this is the year.
He's picking the guy in the Parsons jersey. Let's see what happens.
I'm taking the Parsons jersey guy to win your league, man.
Let's get into let's get into the Facebook versus Twitter league really fast. Pat, Mike, I'm gonna have you guys kind of start this one off because you both are involved in this league. So Pat, take it away.
So far we're near the end of round 4.
Yep.
And things are going pretty well, but my buddy Mike here is kind of an ageist.
How am I an ageist?
When it comes to like the average age of your team, your running backs are 27 years old.
Okay, I got one running back.
Your wide receivers are nearly 30.
I got one wide receiver.
Your quarterbacks are in their 30s as well. Like, can you draft anyone that's like on their rookie contract?
No, because it's redraft, and I don't give a shit.
I mean, Velus Jones might come through eventually in like the 6th round. That's coming up probably by this time tomorrow.
I'm guaranteeing you right now that I will not draft geriatric freaking Jones, okay? If you look at my team, there is a theme with my team, and you're wrong on what the theme is.
There's a theme, and I'm going to try and beat Patrick's butt.
No, it's AFC West because it's all high-scoring offenses.
Mike Evans plays in the NFC South.
Yes, but one of the 4. All other 3 are AFC West.
Let me break up the trash talk between you two. So already this league is starting to get very heated. What we did was
Jamie's right behind me in the draft too.
Yeah, Jamie is right behind you.
Jamie did take your Tom Brady like that. There's your 45-year-old virgin.
So really quick, what we did with this league, we took myself not included, we kind of halved it to 6 from Twitter versus 6 from Facebook. Well, I mean, I guess like 5 from Twitter, and then the rest are all Facebook. And they all have to compete to, 1, obviously beat me, but then 2, beat each other. So that league is turning out very, very interesting. Mike, your thoughts?
I think it's funny, not funny. It doesn't surprise me because I'm in other leagues with him. But Eagle Dan is 4 guys in and doesn't have a QB, but he has J. Jeff, Cup, Mark Andrews, which is on brand for Eagle Dan, and then AJ Brown, which is on brand because he's a damn Eagles fan. But it's going. I don't think it's too out of bounds yet, but I'm expecting stuff to heat up in a little bit.
Dan is building a trade bait lineup. I feel like Dan is building a trade bait lineup to where he can get a QB later.
Mm-hmm. But the Mark Andrews pick that he had, that was so on brand. I knew 3. I called it when Pat was up. I was like, not Pat. When Justin was up, I'm like, oh, it's going to be Mark.
We knew what it was going to be. I mean, especially because like a lot of like in this league, like a lot of guys do know each other from like different circles. Like, I mean, hell, I'll shout out my own team, for example.
Yeah.
Because I had the 2 pick, I wasn't going to go with my typical, let's hurry up and grab an RB. Let's hurry up and grab King Henry. I went ahead and I went Herbert, and we all know how I love Justin Herbert in fantasy football. I went Herbert. I went Nick Chubb. I went back on being brand. Then I turned around and I snatched up Keenan Allen. So which a TikTok about that stat is coming to you guys this upcoming week. So make sure you guys follow me on the TikToks. Bro, like it's just, I feel like a lot of guys in this league that know each other, we're witnessing each other's strategies, and it's really a battle and a test of like between experts. I mean, we have guys from NFL Network in this league. It's really a battle of how long we've known each other and whose strategy is going to outlast whose throughout a season.
Well, look at talking about on brand. Speaking of NFL Network, he had to take Joe Mixon.
Yeah. L2 did take Joe Mixon. I want to shout to the guys in that league that aren't analysts. I mean, Jordan is in that league, who you guys saw with the Chiefs jersey, who's also in the reality TV league. And then we got Jamie. Jamie, I mean, he's a fan of the show. He watches every fucking episode. So that's interesting within itself. Where it's like, fuck, like my knowledge against me. You can use my shit against me. So that's interesting in itself. Eric, what are your thoughts on a social media versus social media platform league?
Man, I think it sounds like a ton of fun, right? As you set it up, I'm thinking about the differences in those two social media platforms. Type of people that might be more likely to kick it on Facebook, type of people that might be more likely to be on Twitter. So the premise sounds awesome, and it sounds like it's some 4D chess, right? Everyone knows everyone in this league, so it's not just who do I evaluate more, who do I like more in this spot. It's who can I get that I know that this guy wants to get, so I can block him. But then if he does that, so just the layers to it sounds like it's a ton of fun.
Like one of my picks, like you just mentioned, one of my picks when I picked Mike Evans, I kind of did it on purpose, knowing that I thought Jamie would try to do the Tom Brady Mike Evans stack. So I knew if I waited, I knew I wasn't going to get Evans.
Hey, I love the Brady Mike Evans stack. In Superflex, there are a lot of stacks that are super equitable that a lot of folks aren't paying attention to. The Herbert Keenan Allen or the Herbert Mike Williams, the Russell Wilson and his receivers, the Tua and his receivers, the Brady and the Evans, and the Brady and the Godwin. Like there are very equitable, and I want to make sure that I hone in on the word equitable. There are very equitable stacks that you don't have to go out here reaching for to accomplish. So I want to make sure that when we're talking Superflex, that I toss that out there to the casual viewer. Nick, what's your thoughts on this social media versus social media platform type of league?
I think it's cool. I mean, Twitter, there's different analysts out there on Twitter, different from Facebook. For yourself, I mean, you guys are all on Twitter, right? So you guys have your different views. Getting some of the NFL Network guys in there is kind of cool, as well. Having people who aren't from the NFL Network is kind of cool too, to see how they draft, right? Then I go back to Mike's point. He does have an old team, but I mean, it's a redraft. It's not a keeper league, right? I mean, that team that you put together, Mike, you stacked it pretty well there. Sorry, Patty, but I got to go against you, man.
Oh, you call me Patty? We're going there. It's 9:30 and we're going there, bro.
Now,
too
Nick,
early, man.
You know me for 35 minutes here.
Nick's my new favorite person.
Without you knowing too much about this league, okay, all you know that is Facebook versus Twitter. You know the three at the top were all in it. LQ's in it, and a couple other guys that we mentioned. As an outsider looking in, before you even see the content that's about to come out, who do you think? What social media platform do you think will have the winner?
Twitter for sure, man. By far.
Is it Twitter? Is it Facebook?
It's Twitter by far. I don't even think Facebook.
Oh, Twitter! Oh, Nick is siding with Twitter. Oh.
Yeah, I think Facebook's going to get mangled.
So one of the things, go Nick.
That's just my point of view. I mean that guy who drafted Andrews, Cup, and JJ. I mean, Jesus, those are three guys who could win your league right there.
Yeah. One of the things that really comes into play with Facebook versus Twitter is Twitter. There's some validity and status that comes with follower counts. Like someone's going to listen to you more, but Facebook, anyone can give out information, and it's just a profile, and there's not like people are following you for this reason. So when you're getting into these Facebook groups, you could be getting value from someone like LQ that works at NFL Network, and he gets ratioed by someone that doesn't know shit, and no one's done the wiser.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it was like the same space I was in that one day with Robbie and MG there, right? I mean, those guys, their content's unbelievable. So,
yeah, absolutely. Like it takes some time. It takes some. It's a matter of like you've worked and you've earned and you've showed that you're a reliable source of information.
Yep. 100%.
And I know Eric, you understand that in your work with Dr. Roto and going for two, that once you're writing for somewhere, once you got that name behind it, like there's a little more validity to your voice.
Yeah, and like it's kind of a wild card on the Facebook side, right? Like there are tons of people that are incredibly skilled analysts that are very valid in those Facebook streets, but the way that stuff gets bubbled up is really kind of a mixed bag, right? So you have someone that, you know, might look like they've got you know, this really well thought out thread, but in reality, you know, they've been playing for a couple of years, right? Other way around, like, you know, some of the brightest minds in the industry, you know, their posts are getting buried over there. So it's really hard to get a gauge of, you know, where the good information is, where the bad information is, and it feels like this league is sort of like a spin of the roulette wheel. So I can't wait to see it play out.
So
I love it.
We lost
go
Robbie
ahead.
for a second.
No, you lost me. You lost me, but I reconnected. Right? You know,
Reconnected. What were you doing on your phone?
I went ahead and I made a pick. So we're gonna go ahead and announce that pick in the Facebook versus Twitter league. I went ahead in the 4th round and I selected playoff Lenny, ladies and gentlemen, Leonard Fournette from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We keeping it real pirate over here.
And I would like to announce, J-Bats, if you're watching us, you're on the clock ×2.
Robbie, who's your other running back?
I have Nick Chubb. I went Justin Herbert, Nick Chubb, Keenan Allen, and now I got playoff Lenny.
All right. I mean, not bad.
Yeah, you know, we're only through 4 rounds. You know, we're not going to get too excited. Speaking of getting too excited, here's something that I want everyone to get really, really excited about. And it's a positive cause. We purposely, it's not the only reason that he's here. We purposely have Eric here on the show tonight to talk to you guys about Pros with Joes. But before I pass it off to Eric to begin this segment, to begin Pros with Joes and breaking that down to you guys, please feel free. All right. Me as one of the pros, my charity is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Cause that's very, very close to my heart, near and dear to my heart. Feel free if you guys want to, if you have the kindness in your heart, check out my link. I'll have it shared during the show. My hands are tied right now. Not literally, that'll be later. But I want you guys to definitely, yeah, you got that, Mike.
Oh, yeah,
I want you guys to definitely check out the cause, support the cause. One lucky donator. I'm gonna call it donator. I'm not gonna call it winner. One lucky donator will be selected to co-manage a team with your boy Rumboyz Robbie. And this is a big deal because I don't let anyone help manage a team with me. So I want you guys to donate. I want you guys to be a part of Pros with Joes. Come team up with the pro, and let's go smack around the rest of the Joes. Dilly. Eric, take it away.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I can top that little promo that you cut for it. I always joke that there's really no short version of this story. There's Robbie's link. Get over there. Mention the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention that he's playing for. They do really good work. This year, we're heading into year 3. We've got 56 pros from across the industry. Literally every platform, every website, every TV station, every radio station, every magazine that you read, any sort of content that you consume, we got one of your dudes on board. Every single one of them is playing for a specific charity that is important to them. This is not all just rolling up to a single cause. Every single pro that's playing, they handpick their charity. Every single dollar that you donate to that charity goes directly to that charity. There's no skimming off the top. There's no overhead. Literally, it's all going directly to the charity. So it's a really cool way to do a lot of great work. It's a cool way to learn more about the people that you follow in the industry, right? The things that are important to them. And for the person that wins, it's a really cool experience, right? Robbie talked about how he's not sharing that captain's wheel with anyone, right? So it's an opportunity to play along with guys like Robbie. Talked about LQ and Marcus Grant earlier. They're in again for year 3. So it ends up being almost like a master class in fantasy football, right? You get to be in on these conversations. You get to see how they determine, who's going to be in their lineup, how they approach waiver wires. It's all a ton of fun. So Robbie's link will probably get flashed up here again at some point soon. That's the best way to get involved, not only to give to his charity, but to be entered to win with him. If you want to see everything that we're doing, you want to read more about the charity, you want to learn how you get involved, you can go to our website, proswithjoes.com. That's where all of that information lives. And as you get to that donor page, just crack open your wallet, right? Give a little, give a lot, whatever you can spare, right? Like one thing I've learned with working with these charities is they go bonkers making a dollar stretch. Like you get $10 into one of these charities' hands, and like they can really do some good work. It blows my mind.
And I'll tell for those that wanna donate to my charity specific. If you're selected as the winner, the donator that wins, we're competing against one of my good friends, Adam Rank, and y'all know how we feel about outranking the rank. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. We get an opportunity together to get that W.
Let's get it. Yeah, we all jump into Zoom for the draft. There's a lot of people that pop in there that might have their eye on outrank and rank or going head to head with some other people in the industry. It ends up being a lot of fun.
Amen. Let's go ahead. We're gonna dive right into the next topic. We've hyped up our leagues. We've talked a lot of promotional shit surrounding Rumboyz content. Did y'all see the fight yesterday at the Bengals Rams joint practice? Bro, Aaron Donald out here dual wielding. Okay, freaking two Bengals helmets. Just it's the eye of the tiger. It's the fear of the fight. He was fucking going in. Should the league penalize Aaron Donald? What are our thoughts? We've had a lot of practice scuffles. We have a lot of practice scuffles. Everyone's trying to make a team. There's guys that are about to get cut, so on and so forth. Thoughts, Nick? We're actually going to start with you.
I mean, you know, as we all know, when these players, get into their head into the game, they all get hot heads. Like you said, players are trying to make the team. They're trying to impress. They're trying to do all this out there on the field. Personally, I think having these joint games, practices are ridiculous. If you ask me, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to give a little bit of competition, but I mean, we all know how these rookies and, like I said, these guys get their hot heads on, right?
Yeah.
Do I feel that it's worth a suspension? Probably not. I mean, things happen. I mean, it's just practice. It's not like we're in a preseason game here.
I like that. I like that take. Even though I've done a lot of joint practices, but to your take, in the joint practices that I've done, whether it's high school, semi-pro, or even when I played football in the military, yeah, I'm gonna fight someone probably. I'm probably just gonna fight someone just to get in the other team's head, just because I know I'm gonna face them, even if it is like a scrimmage. So that's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, we're also looking at Bengals, Rams, Super Bowl last year. There's probably still some bad blood there.
There's a lot of bad blood. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's probably something as stupid as Aaron Donald saying, "We got you last year," and who knows, man. You know how it goes.
Scrapping. I don't think that I would fight Aaron Donald, but if he's holding two helmets, I might have to just, as a man, stand on 10 toes. Eric, your thoughts about the whole debacle that everyone is talking about on the Twitter sphere right now?
Man, I don't care what I'm holding. I don't want any piece of Aaron Donald. Like that, the idea of him coming at you motivated and mad just makes me want to wet the bed. And like,
he cracked the helmet.
You talk about him going in, like these helmets got folded up. This dude was swinging them so hard, right? Like it is absolutely wild. I mean, Nick, I get your point about like, we're inviting this sort of stuff with the joint practices, but man, I don't think that's a bug. I think that's a feature, right? Like we're trying to see things get a little bit heated, right? Like we can only watch guys in shorts not touching each other in these practices for so long. We get some opposing laundry out there, and things pick up real quick. In terms of your question about the suspension, I don't think he should be suspended, but I think he might catch a little bit of a case, right? Like you look at Myles Garrett a few years ago, I think he walked away with a 6-pack, right? Like ultimately,
I think he'll get fined. I think he'll definitely be a fine. I don't think it's suspension worthy unless he,
yeah, the dude, honestly, the way that the NFL is approaching like their punishment, their discipline here the last couple of years has really thrown me, right? Like for a while, they would just look to what they did in the most similar situation and do something kind of the same, right? So like Myles Garrett, granted it was in a game, he picked up 6 games. It's in practice. I don't think it'll be anywhere near that amount, but I also don't think that the NFL as a league wants any of their players trying to use any part of their equipment as a weapon. So if I'm Roger Goodell, Lord willing, one day I will be, and the whole
You
Rumble
can
is
use their
locked
equipment.
coming up
Listen,
with me.
don't use our equipment as a weapon. Don't use our equipment as a weapon. But you want to get your freaky deaky on, that might be some other shit.
Right?
You set that joke up. You set that joke up.
Maybe they just switch to the Guardian caps full time, and then Aaron Donald doesn't have a weapon.
Mike, your take.
So to Nick's point about the joint practices, I think we're having them a lot more because of the new rules in the CBA where you can't have as much contact against your own team and stuff. So they want to be able to have more contact, but also with only 3 games in preseason, I think that's also part of the reason because they want contact to get people used to hitting and they want to be able to simulate game action without having game action because we have taken away one of the games. And I personally believe in the next few years, they're going to take another game away, which is just going to cause this to even be more. When it comes to what Eric's point about using the helmet as a weapon, I think that's where the NFL is going to end up drawing the line. I don't necessarily think it should be, but I would not be surprised if there's a 2-game suspension. Just to show a message.
We're gonna get into Pat's take, and then Matt. I see because you are a premium Rumboyz YouTube subscriber. We're gonna take your question right as soon as Pat's done. So Pat, run it.
I want to bring up Ndamukong Suh, who was one of Aaron Donald's former teammates.
The stomp.
He's noted as a dirty player. Things that have happened since becoming a teammate with Aaron Donald: throat punches, nasty chops, ripping off people's helmets, temper tantrums against the 49ers where he storms off the field and nearly breaks his own fucking helmet. This is a pattern of things that have escalated since becoming teammates with Ndamukong Suh. Suh was already deemed a very dirty player. What does this fully mean? It means Aaron Donald's not that great of a guy. He's not the face of the NFL that they want him to be. Do you think that there's a chance that he gets NFL top 1? That chance disappeared. So, they definitely changed and would move him down.
Are you saying that this is a Will Smith slaps Chris Rock type of situation? Like that's kind of the way that you're kind of describing it. Where it's like, so I don't think that Aaron Donald has that. He has prestige in the game and in the league, and I think that because it happened in practice, it happened in preseason. Like, one, I think other players are going to think twice about fucking with him. 2, like I don't think that we remember this. Like, I don't think that we realistically, like, deep down in our memories, save this in our memory bank.
But has Aaron Donald also ever, like, before playing with Sue, he was never like this type of player?
Yeah, that's more the point. Is he's become that. He's become this dirty player, this overly aggressive player when it's things that aren't needing to be aggressive for.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point I want to make. Now, out of this, will a suspension come? No. Will the Rams probably do a fine to save face because the NFL is going to leave it to the teams to decide how to fine and deal with their players in preseason? Yes. Will we get tons of great memes out of it? Absolutely. Seeing Aaron Donald with 2 helmets, like standing like Jon Snow before the Battle of the Bastards, waiting for this army coming, that was my favorite meme of this whole thing. Like, I'm sure, I don't know how there hasn't been like a Darth Maul meme of Aaron Donald standing there with a lightsaber with 2 helmets at the end of it. Like,
dude, I think Mike's got it figured out, right? He started swinging those arms in a circle. He was doing the Bart Simpson move. He was like, I'm just going to start swinging these helmets around, and if you walk into them, it's your problem.
Yep. Especially at that big of a dude.
Right.
You want to walk into me and I weigh that big and I got 2 freaking pieces of metal in my hand? You're the dummy.
Yeah.
Trouble.
Ayo, for real. All right, wait, continue. I'm sorry. I was about to bring up something about fantasy because I just saw something on the board. But I also did something to fuck over another player because I saw what they did. Michael Pittman has no business having the ADP that he does. I don't give a fuck what he did last season.
no, he has no business for it. Smash the unders on his receiving yards total. It's like over 1,000. He's not hitting that. If he misses more than like 2 games, there's no shot in hell he hits it.
Who did you take? Oh,
I took Matt Ryan so that he can't have the Pittman Ryan stack. Because
I like that. That's exactly what I did to Jamie.
Smart play, man.
That's exactly.
I didn't want him to have that. I was like, no, like
that was smart. That was real smart.
And I needed a second QB anyway, so I was like, I'm gonna fuck you over. I'm gonna do it. Whatever fucks you over more, I'm gonna do that.
It's exactly how you play.
I'm gonna clip that later. All right, can we get into Matt's question?
Yep.
Yeah, let's get to Matt's question. Are we thinking Damon Pierce? Are we thinking Marlon Mack? This is a great late round question. And I know what I want, but I know what history and patterns say.
I think you're wrong.
Go ahead.
One thing you just said is wrong. I think Dameon Pierce is going to start.
Yes.
But the hype is so high right now that he's no longer going to be a late round guy.
No.
You're going to have to reach for him. That's why I think you're wrong. I like Dameon Pierce, but I'm afraid that if I want him, I'm going to have to pay too high. So I don't know if I'm going to have Dameon Pierce in redraft because of that reason.
Okay, I agree with Dameon Pierce being a starter. But let's just get this straight. No way in hell am I drafting any running back that plays for the Houston Texans.
Okay.
Okay. I'd rather take Ramondre Stevenson over Dameon Pierce. Higher. No way am I touching any Texans running back, man. That's just Rex Burkhead there, Marlon Mack.
I actually agree with the Cowboys fan.
It's gonna be in my opinion, it's gonna be like a Buffalo Bills.
When's the last? Because you have to really think about it. When's the last time you had a purely dominant Houston running back?
I mean, Mark Ingram was there. What did he do? Nothing.
Now we've also
Arian Foster was the correct answer.
Arian Foster is the correct answer. There's been several coaching changes. There's been GM changes. So I'm not concerned about the history of the franchise here.
Mm-mm.
Now, when it comes to Dameon Pierce, his upside, though, in addition to his ability just as a pure runner, is he's decent as a pass catcher, and he's good in pass protection as well.
Well, out in Florida, he was amazing in pass protection, man.
Yep, that's one of his highest rated traits. So what does that mean? He's going to be on the field.
Oh, I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
So what does that mean in an offense that's likely going to suck? If any piece of that offense goes down, you're looking at Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins, Brevin Jordan as your 3 skill position guys, and then your running back of Pierce.
I mean, what I like, David Mills cannot throw deep, and he doesn't run.
Yep.
So he's going to check down to Pierce.
He's going to release on that pass protection block.
Pierce, but when he get down to the goal line, will he punch it in? In my opinion, I would stay away from Houston, any Houston running back. But that's just me.
I think he's got that flex floor of that 12 to 14 points. Especially in PPR, I think he's got that floor, and any touchdowns you get at that point is just.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If he's there in the late round, still okay. He's worth a pickup. But I definitely would not be reaching for him.
What are you doing late rounds?
7, 8.
7, 8. Okay.
But I'm also drafted. We're also drafting in a redraft or in a keeper league. So.
Okay.
But I wouldn't.
I'm willing to take a shot on Pierce. If I'm in those late rounds, I don't think that the hype is so high that I have to excessively reach. Keyword excessively.
But what are you considering late round? Personally, because I know how we think.
Like 12.
See, that's the thing.
He's not going to be there.
I think you're going to have to go 7 or 8. I would pick him at 10, 11.
I don't think I have to go 7 or 8. I don't
You
think
absolutely do.
You
you're
In the last,
Yeah,
in the
you are.
last
Bro,
2 weeks
100% you will.
ADP on
100% you will.
NFFC, right?
Yeah, he's what?
high
RB
stakes.
39?
High stakes league. No, he's RB. He's coming off the board at 7-6
Man,
Oh,
all
in
those
the last
Was he-
2 weeks, and that was
he RB
that was
33?
before
Was the last thing I
yesterday's
saw?
blow up.
No, yeah, he's RB 33 is what it is. He went from 44 to 33.
the
Right.
hype right now, bro. You're gonna
Prior-
you're gonna reach from a 7-8.
And we have two.
Yeah.
We're gonna have 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks as this week ends of preseason before the start of the season in 13 days. Da-na-na, da-na-na.
And that,
We're gonna see that continue to rise a little bit as one or two little injuries sprinkle in. People are gonna get on the hype train because it's gonna be questions like, what was just running through my head? Do I want Pierce or do I want to take a chance on Gibson? I want Pierce.
Well,
I want Gibson.
Correct.
Gibson's gonna be a returner now, apparently.
But yeah, he's falling down. He's right in that ADP range where ADP just hasn't caught up with reality. He's gonna jump into the 20s.
Yeah.
He's gonna be that guy where is he the flashiest guy? No, but is he gonna get you points? And at the end of the season, are you gonna look at it and say, all right, the difference between me taking a running back in the 5th round and a running back in the 7th round was 15 total points.
I mean, it's a tough question, man. I mean, it's like he will get checked down some mills, but it's just like I just don't trust Houston.
Okay.
It's just-
It's
well,
hard.
Well, let's keep within this context, okay? So it sounds like we're all favoring Pierce over Mac, which is really the true essence of the question. Let's not get lost in the what ifs and the chasing butterflies and shit. We're favoring Pierce over Mac is what it sounds like.
yeah, if you put Pierce next to Mac, who are you taking? You're definitely taking Pierce.
Yeah,
No brainer.
I wouldn't say no brainer.
But
I understand the person who takes Mac because of the possibility of the Texans being like, we're not going to throw a rookie out right away. I
think Rex
understand
Burkhead
that.
is above Mac in the depth chart.
Yeah, I don't think that's the argument for Mac, right? Like this Texans team, like they're full on in evaluation mode. Like they have an idea of what Marlon Mack can be. Can he potentially perform in a similar, equal fashion to Pierce in the short term? Maybe, but he's not the long-term answer for them. So if they can find out what they have in the rookie and best case scenario, not have to go spend any draft capital to answer another hole on their roster, that's what they're going to do. I think the argument for Marlon Mack is he's coming in as Pep Hamilton's boy. Pep Hamilton is the new OC
Pep
in
Hamilton
Houston.
loves Marlon Mack.
And that is when he had those 1,000-yard or combined yard seasons, right? So, I mean, if you got the OC backing you up, that goes a long way. But I don't think that the Texans are going to trot Mack out there because they think he gives them a better chance to win games. Like they're not trying to win games, they're trying to see what they got, and they're trying to get as high a draft pick as possible.
And maybe that's why they don't go with Pierce necessarily right away. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they go with Mac because like you said, they're in evaluation mode. Marlon Mack ain't gonna win us games. Pierce could win us games, and that could then affect future draft capital, etc. I don't think this team is looking at being playoff contenders whatsoever. If they start winning games and they start being good with the talent they do have, that would even shock them.
Not after that D-Hop trade.
I mean, I think they would trade winning a couple games to have one less question mark on their roster.
Yeah, okay.
Like we talk about the Texans, like literally every spot is a question, right? So it's like
everywhere.
Hey, maybe he gets a goal line run that gets us a win that we shouldn't have had, and we move down, a spot or two in the draft. But if they don't have to address that position, I think they're erring on that side.
Yep. General Mills, I love that nickname. Let's get into one more topic before halftime, okay? So, and I want to make sure I read this right. You guys, I may freeze up, but it's fine.
Do you want me to pull up the video of it?
Do you have it?
I got it in like 20 seconds.
Okay. right now, another former first-round pick who showed star power his rookie season has dealt with nagging injuries. For this question, for this topic, we're taking it all the way upstate to New York, and we're talking about Saquon Barkley, all right? While sitting down with the Second Wind podcast, he talked about his missing time. And the chip on his shoulder, he stated, now is a kill mindset. Now it's like, you know what the fuck everybody is thinking or feeling. He's like, I'm ready to go crazy. And I'm going to let the world feel me. Is Saquon's back? And what does a healthy Saquon mean for the New York Giants team? And let's play the video.
All right.
I'm older now. I'm 25.
Are you able to see it?
I can see it.
It's not moving, but I hear
It's
it.
not moving.
Yeah,
We
it's
can
not
hear it.
moving. I hear it.
Okay, I got the wrong screen shared. Give me one moment. Sorry. Hey,
Don't
open
worry.
up a different link. All right.
Do
Share.
you, boo boo, do you?
And do.
Cortland Sutton just won in our draft.
Yeah, I saw Cortland Sutton go off the board.
There we go.
I feel like I'm back. I feel like I'm better. To be completely honest, I'm older now. I'm 25. I've been through some stuff, ups and downs. And now I'm in a situation where, you know me, I always have the mindset of always being counted out. But now it's actually here. It's actually real. People are really counting me out. People are trying to write me off. And I don't really do it for the pleasure of others or making other people satisfied. I do it because I just want to be great. But now I have that extra motivation to push me to go out there and kind of just be like, you know what, shut everyone up. Because last year it was more like, dang, the game was taken away from me. I never had a season when I didn't go and play football. Now it's kill mindset. Now it's like, you know what, everybody, like, I'm ready to go crazy, and I'm let the world feel me.
So here's my thing. Just breaking down his words. Yes, you can have that mindset. I wholeheartedly believe that Saquon has that mindset. From a fantasy football investment perspective, I don't think that's something that at the end of the season I'd rather be wrong about. You know, like if Saquon went off, I'd be like, okay, cool, like you did it, and it took you how many years, you know? And I know there's going to be people that are going to victory lap it and be like, oh, I told you it was eventually going to happen. It's like you had said that for fucking 4 years, 3-4 years, you know what I mean? So, like, from a manager standpoint, I am not willing to take the risk of investing in Saquon. That's not to say that I don't believe that he could be back. That's not to say that I don't feel like he could be profitable for your fantasy football team. I don't see a positive ROI for myself, and just have how many injuries that he has sustained to where I can expect a positive ROI, return on investment. And that's just me personally. We'll go Nick, and then we'll work our way back up.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, man. Hasn't been healthy since being drafted in the NFL. Was a stud out of Penn State. We all know that. But I mean, it's how can you draft someone like that when it's like drafting Julio Jones, right? I mean, that guy can't stay healthy. I'm passing on Saquon all day. I'd rather like I said, I'd rather pick up Elijah Mitchell, who I know is going to stay healthy. That's just me.
Elijah Mitchell's not even
Elijah
healthy
Mitchell?
right now.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He's not
Not
even
right
healthy
now.
in camp. They're saying he might not even make it to the beginning of week 1.
But
But they put Elijah Mitchell through the ringer his first year. Like, they put him through the ringer.
I mean, Giants O-line is nice, but you can't rely on Saquon, man. Those quads, that Achilles, that ankle can't stay healthy. It's
Eric?
unfortunate.
Man, this is one of those areas where it's all relative, right? Like, I think that Saquon Barkley is going to have a fine season. I think he's going to have arguably his best season since his rookie campaign. where he averaged 24 fantasy points per game. I don't think he's going to end up anywhere near that total, but I think he's going to take a bit of a step forward and have a rebound. The reason why I qualify it on the front end is the hype is out of control on this man right now. Over the last 2 weeks, my guy is RB9 off the board. Like, everybody that wants to dunk on like drafting in April and May and all throughout the summer, like I was getting Saquon Barkley in the 4th, 5th, 6th round sometimes, right? Now that he comes out, those quads are all glistening. He's hitting a couple of holes behind this line. He's damn near a first rounder. I don't want to pay that capital for him, but I do think he'll perform better than we've seen since 2018.
All right, Mike, what you got?
So I do like Barkley, but I'm not paying the price for him. I'm more agreeing on Eric's side. I think he is going to have one of his better years since his rookie season. I mean, with Dable as their coach / yes, they have Mike Kafka as their OC or whatever, but Dable's going to be the brainchild. I think that's part of the reason I am intrigued in Barkley. But I do not think I will get a lot of Barkley because, like Eric said, if I could get him at the end of 2, beginning of 3 in redraft, I would probably go for it. But right now he's going end of 1, beginning of 2, and I'm not willing to pay that price. But I will say that, Robbie, I also understand where you're coming from because you're also jaded and then rightfully so, because you have been saying this whole offseason to me off camera that you're off CMC because of the injuries and you're not going to draft CMC. I think that's the exact thought process of why people are out on Barkley.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, at that position, all I'm asking for is the best return on investment possible. Mm-hmm. So it is the exact same thought process. Knowing that I'm already going to be at a loss coming into the season, likely, for that value is where I kind of stray away.
That's the only reason I brought it up, because the thought process is the exact same.
No, hey, very, 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 very astute of you. That was very astute because, I mean, that also shows you know me pretty well, too. St. Pat.
So one of the things I notice is I first heard about this story a little bit off of Good Morning Football on NFL Network this a couple days ago.
Shout the homie. Shout the team.
But one of the things that rang true is, when have we heard sound bites from Saquon in his 4-year career? We don't.
Once or twice, like maybe once or twice. That's about it.
Even this, like, he was passionate about this, but he was quiet.
Yeah, he was doubting himself.
It wasn't even doubting himself. It was there was confidence in it. He spoke as a man of confidence, but a quiet man.
Yeah, I think Pat saying it was quiet confidence.
That humbling type of confidence.
And something that was brought up is they've never had, from their number 2 overall pick that people said they shouldn't have made and taken Saquon so early, they haven't had billboard quotes from him. They haven't had something like that. But now you can say, you know what? Fuck everybody. I'm ready to go crazy. Put that on a fucking billboard. Get your fan base behind you.
New York music.
You've got these young guys coming into to the Giants team. You got Kayvon Thibodeau, who's came in with so much swagger and energy and
laziness.
A little bit of laziness, but he also he walked in the room and he made sure that you knew that he was in the room. And it's the completely different personality wise. But the Giants fandom and their community needed something like this from Saquon.
They need a heart.
They needed their leader to say and do something and say that he cares about that community, that he's ready to go out there and just do something for them. And if he wants another contract, he's got to be that guy. He's got to be that face of the franchise that he was drafted to be.
I mean, for me, it's like it's a risky draft at 1 or 2 with 1,000% upside.
Yeah.
Potential upside.
Yeah.
So right? When it comes,
I think a lot of my not excitement, but is because of Dable. I think he doesn't have Jason Garrett calling plays. He doesn't have Ben McAdoo. He doesn't have idiots.
Okay, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say that I feel like is the best advice for the viewer. If you are bullish, all right, on Saquon, then take that risk and do what you got to do. Don't reach, you know, but if you're bullish, go for it. If you're very bearish, then I understand you being reserved and don't take him. That there's only one of two mindsets. Don't get caught in a gray area. Go after someone else that you have confidence in and avoid putting yourself in a bad predicament that you may regret later.
Okay, so
You
Robbie,
know,
here's a question for you, Robbie, that a lot of people I'm getting: Saquon or Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
CH.
Saquon all day, and I'm a
Saquon
Chiefs
all day.
fan.
I'm not doing it. I will take CH and I'll have backups to where if I need to rotate, I'll be strong everywhere else to where I'll be able to manage. It's about roster construction at the end of the day. It's not about you picking one guy and that one guy making your whole team. If that's your outlook and if that's how you're gonna play, I mean, well then Buck, I mean, just be the Bucks when they had to go and get Brady. Like, I mean, just go get that one guy and then now all of a sudden you're good.
I
You know, like,
want to see receipts on that take.
hey, we'll gladly take receipts. Saquon will probably have better stats. I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna deny that.
Saquon
But
just
I
went
was
in our
asked,
draft at RB8. You're willing to draft CEH in the top 20 RBs? I'm not.
I'm not gonna draft
Oh,
CH in the
Yeah,
top 20
Robbie's saying it
RBs.
cost.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
No,
draft
I know he is.
CH. I'm not gonna draft CH in the top 20 RBs, but I will draft CH and not Saquon. Why
Okay,
why am I gonna why am I gonna
I understand what you're saying. What you're saying now, the way you first worded it made it sound like straight up. I take.
Yeah, that's how it sounded at first.
That's how it sounded. Was
I'm
straight
not
up, I
gonna
take.
draft Saquon. There.
Okay,
I'm just not
that's
gonna
fair.
do it. Yeah.
That's fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we are going to break into halftime. On the other side of the show, St. Pat's gonna have an awesome array of topics for you guys that you're not going to want to miss. Make sure that you guys do, all right, between now and the kickoff of the NFL season, utilize down below as you see promo code Rumboyz10, okay? Not our original promo code Rumboyz10. Our original promo code is only going to hook you up with 40% off. I'm giving you 80% off on all 22 subscriptions right now between now and kickoff, all right? So make sure you guys get on over there. Utilize promo code Rumboyz10 on all22.com. I also want to remind you guys about the Monkey Knife Fight app available on iOS and Android. MonkeyKnifeFight.com for all your daily fantasy player prop needs. 100% match on your very first deposit, all the way up to $100. The team and I, we're going to match you on that very first deposit. So make sure you guys check out that offer and download the Stacks app, stacksapp.io. Available on iOS and Android. That's again, you can search it just by looking up stacksapp.io. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into a music video. We're gonna hit him with a little bit of reggaeton right now. You know, dale, dale. Let's go ahead and get it. We're gonna get into touchdown. Right after that, we have an ad from our homies at Monkey Knife Fight, and St. Pat will be steering the pirate ship. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. This is the crew. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. We'll all see you in a few. Dilly dilly.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a monkey knife fight.
And one day they met one team partners in the NFLPA.
It's a match made in the pits of a monkey knife fight.
And everyone lived happily ever after.
Are you listening? This is big.
What is a monkey knife fight?
You know, it's thing monkeys, knives, you get it. Fantasy sports is monkey knife fight. And monkey knife fight is fantasy sports.
Monkey Knife Fight is daily fantasy.
Monkey Knife Fight in the house.
I am Monkey Knife Fight.
You are Monkey Knife Fight.
We are all Monkey Knife Fight.
Monkey Knife Fight.
You have the NFLPA behind the company.
It's exciting for me to be a part of fantasy sports.
When I think of fantasy sports, I think of beating all my buddies year in and year out and being able to brag about it.
We're not just partners in it.
We're owners.
And it feels awesome to be an owner.
I challenge you to a monkey knife fight.
We've been saving you a seat at the table, Monkey Knife Fight.
Welcome to the one team and NFLPA family.
Monkey knife fight. Welcome to the family, Monkey Knife Fight.
Welcome to the game, Monkey Knife Fight.
Monkey Knife Fight!
I challenge you to a monkey knife fight.
Monkey Knife Fight! Monkey Knife Fight, Monkey Knife Fight, Monkey Knife Fight, Monkey Knife...
We are back for the second half, and then we are ready for the opening kickoff for the second half. Let's see. My show sheet is a little bit out of order. We decided to move some stuff around. We'll just gotta adjust that. Sorry. All right. We are into week 3 of training camp. And, well, not really training camp, but the preseason. And one of the big things is 4 months ago, we saw the first round of the NFL draft just under 4 months ago. So give us a name of a player who has so far exceeded your expectations and a player who has left something to be desired by the fans. So this is more of an NFL take more than it is fantasy or sports betting. But first round of the NFL draft, going to the last week of preseason, who's met your expectations? Who's missed out big? Mike, let's get started with you.
So we're going rookie wise.
Preferably first round, but if
Yeah.
you go out of that to.
Yeah. So I am going to go on the good side. I'm going to go Chris Olave. He is showing that he can get. He is showing why I thought he was going to be a high pick. He is showing that he has the separation. He is showing that he can catch the ball. He is showing that, I mean, before the season, before the offseason, Pat, you know this, I was saying the whole time that MT was probably not going to play. I did not think MT wanted to be a Saint. I was afraid that slant boy was not going to be a thing, and I thought Olave could take the job. Now that MT looks like he is going to play, even though he's got a little bit of a hammy, I still think Olave is going to be an integral part of that offense.
Thanks, Mike. Eric, down to you. I know you look like Mike took your guy.
Yeah, I did.
Anyone that's kind of disappointing you so far through camp, or another guy that's exceeding those expectations?
Yeah, Mike took my guy because that is the correct answer. If we want to talk about receipts, I did a mock draft with the homies over at 32-bit. I think it was in the first week of May, and I was catching all kinds of smoke for taking Chris Olave as the 4th off the board. And now that's looking like a value. Dude's absolutely going to eat man coverage alive at the NFL level. In terms of guys that have disappointed a little bit, it's he's technically not a first round, but I think Christian Watson is someone that, obviously he's dealing with injury, but absolute freak of nature athletically. Bummed that we weren't able to get a whole lot of reps and practice time and preseason action out of him. But, I still think that he's in a good position to be the lead receiver in Green Bay. Just the likelihood that it's this year is now considerably lower because he missed so much time.
It's hard as a Packers fan. Eric, I don't know if you know if I'm a Packers fan, but it's really difficult to see him missing out so much on so many important reps.
Yeah.
And the name that it's getting thrown out now is Romeo Doubs because he's been there, he's been present, he's made the plays, he's gotten the face time with Rodgers. And I don't know if you guys who's on TikTok? All the four of you, who's like actively on TikTok? Eric, Mike, Nick. Have you guys gotten into corn TikTok?
No.
Into what TikTok?
Corn TikTok.
Like on the cob?
Yeah.
Or the band.
On the cob TikTok. Corn on the cob TikTok.
No.
So there's a video that went viral of a little kid with corn on the cob, and he's being interviewed. He's being interviewed, and he's trying to tell you, so do you like this corn? He's like, yeah, it's great. Let me tell you all about it. He's like, it's beautiful. It's corn. It is what it is. And that's what Romeo Doubs has been, though, for the Packers. It's been like, what is he great at? He's corn. He's good. He's catching the ball.
Right? You know what you're getting out of him.
You know what you're getting right now.
Just good enough.
Like
he's always there for you.
It ends with like, I tried it with butter and it changed everything. Like, the Packers wide receiver room is just that. It's nothing special, but it's going to do something for you, and maybe it'll go viral.
I'm going to go down the corn TikTok rabbit hole.
Just search his corn. Like,
it's going to be so bad.
No.
I have no idea where this is going.
The wife is out of town, and I'm going to sit here mindlessly watching preseason football and high school football while I search corn.
Who's your favorite corn star? Kidding.
Nick, your take.
Nick, your take.
James Cook by far has been pretty impressive. I think by week 4, week 6, Singletary's job is done. If not before. He's just a University of Georgia product. Was a beast, and he's continuing that through. Some I'm a little disappointed wasn't a first-round pick, but Terry McBride, I just think with Zach Ertz there in Arizona that he's not going to get too many reps there. I mean, he was great in college, but again, hasn't shown anything really spectacular. Tight end, that is.
So Nino Brown just mentioned something that I thought about, and I was like, I'm not going to put this out in the universe, but I was kind of curious about Gesicki to the Green Bay. I don't think it happens. I don't think it works. Would I like it as a Packers fan? Sure, I think, but I don't see the Packers paying him that much money unless something's really wrong with Tanyan's knee.
And isn't Tanyan supposed to be back? I mean, I know right now he's not.
I think he's still on PUP. I can't remember if he got activated or not in time to avoid the for sure 4 games.
But then who goes as a tight end in Miami?
They've got a few tight ends.
They got Sheehan, they got a couple others, but they're saying that he's on the block. Like Miami is shopping us.
But
what's the asking price?
That's the thing.
That's not. When looking up stuff for the show, one of the things I looked up is Gesicki actually on the block?
And now they're saying no.
They're saying no. Everyone, there's talks. Everyone, they're like, if you're to actually look at if you're looking at the leaves and they were to announce everyone that's been talked about for a trade possibility, that list would be a mile long.
And everyone.
and just about everyone in the league would be on that list and talked about. So I think it's more noise than it is actual news. Are they moving Gesicki more in line to something that he's not actually that great at as a tight end? Yes.
Yep.
Will he actually stay there when push comes to shove?
Nope.
No, because he's not great at pushing off and shoving people back. Get him out in the slot. Let him make plays happen.
But then you got Jalen Waddle, right? Too. That's slotting in. It's a tough situation in Miami, man. Straight up.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys that do the same thing really well.
Yeah,
and they probably should have considered that a little bit more before they made even the Tyreek Hill trade. Maybe moving other pieces around.
I mean, it's going to open up for Jalen Waddle.
Talent is talent, and there's one ball and a halfway decent quarterback throwing it to him. That's the nicest thing I can say about Tua, and hopefully I'm wrong and he's a good quarterback. But that's kind of my take. On someone that I'm kind of down on off of their draft capital, Jamison Williams, in the same vein as Eric there, talking about Watson. The talk of him being able to potentially be ready week 1 just kind of kept fading away as we got closer and closer to it over the last 4 months.
I kind of expected that, though.
A lot of people did, and I think just the noise of he's doing great, he's going to make it happen, and he's not.
I think the biggest thing, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel the way you do. I think the biggest thing overall, and the reason why we feel this way and you feel this, the people that do, they traded up for him. It wasn't like they just sat back and got him. They moved up to get him, and that is the problem that I think people are having. You move up to get a guy that might not even play.
They moved up 10 slots. And then in division trade with Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota would have taken him.
No.
Minnesota wouldn't have taken him. I think you could have fallen back a little bit farther.
Well, they trade up not because they thought Minnesota was going to take him. It's because their contacts in Minnesota are saying, we're about to trade this pick to someone who will take him, right?
Yeah, that's
how they leverage the situation.
But yeah, Minnesota won out with that trade and their ability to leverage the situations.
Yeah, Minnesota's been having so many good draft days these last few years.
Yes.
Anytime I'm feeling down, I watch them get all hyped about J-Defs.
Now, on the opposite side of Watson, you have Quay Walker, who's looking like to be ready to be day 1 starter at linebacker for the Packers. While it felt like a reach on draft day, things are looking better, and to be able to suit up next to Devondre Campbell, things are looking a lot more positive in that realm. As people were complaining that they didn't take a first-round wide receiver. All right, moving on. Something I wanted to segue into earlier in the show, because I wanted to run the conversation about Aaron Donald into talking about the Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh.
It's time that we're going to take a look at Defensive Player of the Year. We're going to say we have 2 bets that we can place. Who's your guy? Who you think is going to return the most on your money? Obviously, we could always take the guys to the top and say, I think TJ Watt or Myles Garrett is going to be that guy, but who's likely giving you the best return on investment there?
I'm not being biased, but I'm going with Micah, man. Micah was a beast last year. He's had time to grow again. Coming into year 2, I think he's going to be unbelievable. I mean, look at those names he's behind. TJ Watt, Garrett, Donald, and then it's Parsons. He's even people are putting him even ahead of Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa. That's crazy, man.
That is crazy. I think for me, especially at plus 1100, I'll jump all over that Nick Bosa line.
Yep.
This San Francisco defense is going to be nasty. He's going to continue to be the star of it. So not only is he going to keep stacking up all of the sort of box score stuffing statistics, but he's gonna get those flash plays that you need to win an award like Defensive Player of the Year.
So the one I'm going to bring up that's a little bit of a long shot, and Eric and Pat who know me know this is going to hurt me to say. If this guy can get to the quarterback in this division and disrupt the best quarterbacks in this league, Max Crosby.
Yep. I was just looking through the list and I was going to say Max Crosby is going to be my guy.
If you can get Max Crosby at 2,500 and he can get to Russell Wilson, Mahomes, and Herbert, watch out.
I know PointsBet has been giving out a lot of free bets every day between 1 and 2. Eastern time. They've been doing a lot of promos, counting down the days to the NFL season. Dropping them on some of these future bets. If there's a take that you like from one of these analysts, go ahead and just drop those 3 bets there. Let it cash out later on, because a $2 bet or a $5 bet turns into $100 pretty quickly if Max Crosby hits for drop the mic. One of the guys that I really like there, I like Micah Parsons, I like Crosby. What about a little bit of resurgence from Khalil Mack in LA? He's got the name behind it.
Don't see it.
It feels like a long shot. I think his name's driving up his price, where I feel like he's should be more
now,
like 2,500.
If I remember correctly, both Bosa's had injury woes last year too, right? So I mean that kind of took it a little bit off of them as well. But I mean TJ Watt was a beast. I mean,
yep. So let's go to the next one.
What do you got?
All right, we have the NFL Offensive Player of the Year. So this is not MVP.
Oh yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year. So, Mike, you'll get first shot at this one.
God, another one that I hate this.
Anyone else notice Christian McCaffrey's name spelled wrong?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Look at that.
My sponsor is BetUS. Hey, can you guys fix that?
I'm going Justin Herbert for those odds.
Okay, so Offensive Player of the Year, but not. Do you think he takes MVP as well and sweeps both, or do you think he just?
I think it's. I'll wait. I'll say what I think afterwards, just in case.
Eric?
Man, this one's tough because MVP is such a quarterback award that it feels like the NFL drummed up this award so that they can give another offensive player some hardware. So, I mean, Justin Herbert, especially those odds, is such good value. Same thing with the guys around him, Allen and Jackson. I just don't think that those guys are really the ones that are going to win this award, right? They're going to be more in the MVP conversation. You know, for me, I'm not sure why this is ordered this way. I got excited when I saw Justin Jefferson all the way down the sheet, but he's still plus 1,400. I'll still go that way. I'm bullish on what Kevin O'Connell can do in Minnesota. I'm bullish on Kirk Cousins' season to come. I think that he can set personal records for passing yards, for passing touchdowns, and a lot of that is going to be focused away of Justin Jefferson.
I think it might be ordered based on number of bets placed on it and the amount of money that's already been put towards it.
Yeah, it's completely descending, and then random pop up.
There's
Justin
there's
Jefferson.
A few later on in the next one that does the same thing.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm going Jamar Chase, man. Throw a hundy on that one. I mean, Joe Burrow and him had a great year. I do like Cooper Kupp. Allen Robinson's there now, so I mean, he is going to get some of those catches as well. I mean, we have to take into account last year, Robert Woods went down with I think it was ACL. So Cooper Kupp got all the attention. But I'm going with Jamar Chase. I think Joe Burrow and him are going to have a huge year this year, even bigger than last year. Both, I mean, Joe Burrow has experience now, and now Jamar Chase going to his second year. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah. I'll throw out one name that, and for a slightly different reason than anyone else has mentioned, give some love back to Mike's Chiefs. If Travis Kelce were to win Offensive Player of the Year, if the Chiefs win the AFC West, it's not going to be because of Mahomes. It's going to be because of Travis Kelce and what he does for that offense. And
Pat, you actually said something smart for once.
There's a first time for everything, buddy. And with Kelce, in addition to just the raw stats he does, his blocking still as a tight end still matters. And towards an offensive player, like you're never going to see a left tackle or a center get this award, but oftentimes they may be deserving of it. And so that inline blocking, it matters. So I want to see Travis Kelce take that at plus 2,800. He'd
So-
easily have a 1,400-yard season and 15 touchdowns and be every bit deserving.
So if I was to put a bet down that was not quarterback related,
Yeah.
I'm going to go off of something Eric said because I agree with everything Eric said. And with those odds, if I was to just have an extra 50 laying around, Dalvin Cook if he stays healthy.
Cook with, is that 4 O's in Dalvin Cook's name?
Yes. Yes, it was.
It's like a touchdown celebration right there on the sheet.
Oh. All right. Speed round through this one. We have two slides left, and then I know Eric and Nick have to get going, and Mike and I will wrap up the show.
Okay, so he's not on here.
Yep.
But I'm going with Julio Jones, man. Tampa Bay,
Okay.
Tom Brady.
While you guys are talking, let me get those odds because I can pull that back up because I had to crop that. So Julio Jones. Okay.
I mean, I know he wasn't out with anything crazy. It was just his hamstring. But I think with Tom Brady, man, I think there is a chance that he can go off.
Absolutely. Come back.
Chris Godwin is supposedly supposed to be ready for week 1, but not guaranteed. So Julio's going to get the bulk of that too, right?
There are not any odds currently on BetUS
Wow.
for Julio Jones.
Not yet.
Okay.
So one of the advantages for them is you actually have account managers in addition to being able to place your bets online. You can get in touch with a bookie who will help handle those situations for you. If there's a bet that you want that is not available, they can find those odds for you. As you sign up, you'll get calls from them, and it'll appear as 877 numbers, but it is in fact your bookie trying to make sure that you know all the information you need for how your stuff's going to appear on your credit card statement. Any questions you have, making sure that you understand how to make sure you take advantage of your free play. If you need a link, I will post it in the chat and help me make some money there.
Eric, who you got?
So I'm gonna open up my third eye and kind of go a little bit conspiracy theory here, or at least try to go deeper than the numbers. For me, usually comeback player of the year candidates, historically the guys that win it are the guys that missed the year prior due to injury, and specifically that missed the entire prior year, right? So if you look through that lens, there's a lot of guys on here that just had crap years last year that got moved to a backup job, that missed a couple of games but didn't miss the entire year. So all those guys are getting wiped off. And then the second side, there are plenty of guys on here that still aren't going to see a full complement of games. I have no idea what Deshaun Watson's doing on here. We talk about a guy like Chris Godwin. He's probably not going to play at least the first handful of games. Odell Beckham's probably not going to be seen until around Thanksgiving. So it's a pretty short list of guys that were out all season and that are now queued up to be in line to play week 1 and potentially be in a good situation. The player that jumps out for me is J.K. Dobbins. We know how much this Baltimore offense is built around the run. Yes, a lot of that is to do with the run of Lamar Jackson, but he sets up a lot of really explosive plays for J.K. Dobbins or for his running backs historically. So I think he'll score a lot of touchdowns. I think he'll have a lot of highlights. Missed all of last year, and he'll be there for all of this year, at least knocking on wood.
All right, I'll drop and say I'm on the Christian McCaffrey train. I don't know how close you guys follow my Twitter. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse where I'm like, stop fading Christian McCaffrey for no reason. In a game where players get hurt and players run into each other at full speed, injuries happen and none of his injuries are related, and it feels overwhelming how often his injuries get talked about. With no medical backing of they're going to reoccur. With that said, I think Christian McCaffrey at plus 800 is my favorite because if he comes back, he does it and has no problem. If he just stays on the field, I think he puts up the best numbers of any guy out there and really runs the table there. The other guy that I'm interested in is Chase Young, potentially for the
Commanders.
I almost said football team, but for the Washington Commanders, I think he can maybe make a run again. If he gets himself in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, he can definitely win the Comeback Player of the Year this year. And for our final, we have regular season MVP. Who wins the MVP for the 2022-2023 NFL season?
JT.
Ooh.
I'll go over to the quarterback side, like I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I will piggyback on Mike's choice. I'll go with Justin Herbert.
It's Justin Herbert, and if it's not Justin Herbert, it's Buffalo's Josh Allen.
If the Packers
It's not Jacksonville's Josh Allen.
If the Packers win 14 games, and
that wouldn't surprise me,
and this misfit wide receiver room puts up numbers, Aaron Rodgers 3 pizzas MVP.
And I'm gonna have to hear you all freaking off season.
I don't like it. I hate being a homer. I don't want to be a homer.
Having the right take.
It honestly,
if the Packers win 14 games, it's because Aaron Jones wins the MVP.
The thing is, though, I think AJ Dillon does enough. Mm-hmm. I see both Packers running backs having 50 receptions this year.
Yep,
which hasn't been done since 2006. I think was the last time.
And Rodgers also got Cobb back, who is like a security blanket.
Cobb's a security blanket. I don't see Cobb actually being a starting wide receiver for the team.
No, neither do I. But
he's going to be on the 53 man. He's going to be dressed for every game.
Yeah,
he'll be in it for some crucial plays, but he's not going to be anything.
He'll be just one of those guys that are in like a 3rd and 15 and game on the line, and it goes to Randall Cobb wide open in the flat.
Yep, exactly how it's going to be. He was brought in last year as a get you back and keep you in Green Bay, keep you happy a little bit.
Yep.
And that's kind of the way we see it. Eric, Nick, can you guys give sign-offs? Tell people where they can find you, any important information or shout-outs you want to do. Nick, we'll start with you.
I just want to say thanks for having me on, guys. Shout out to my cousin Adam, who is actually watching us right now. So he's been busting my chops on text message here, so back and forth. So yeah, I just want to say thanks, guys, and hopefully I can come back on again. And it was a pleasure.
Nick, was this your first time on a podcast or a YouTube show?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. I'm natural. You did well. It was great having you on.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
I was on the YouTube. We did another draft on YouTube. But like this is the first time for a podcast. So yeah, I was pretty stoked. So
awesome. Love to have you, Nick. Eric.
Thanks, man.
Nick out here crushing it. I didn't even realize it was your first show.
Yeah, neither did I.
You're right there in the mix. Definitely appreciate swinging by After Dark. It's always one of my favorite stops. The easiest way for me to promote everything is just to say head over to my Twitter. It's at FantasyNav. That is where all of my content work lives. That's where all of the promoting that we do for the fundraiser right now is going on. I think I saw it flash up there for a second. Robbie might have dipped out at halftime, but the opportunity to play with him still remains. You can head to that link and you'll be able to donate to his charity. You'll be entered to win a chance to co-manage with him. If you want to check out everything else that we're doing with Pros with Joes, proswithjoes.com. All of our participants and all of their charities are at proswithjoes.com/donate. So if you're willing to consider it, please give a little bit there. And shout out to a passion project of mine. Me and a couple of my longtime buddies started our own YouTube channel 6 months or so ago, Green Screens Media. Once Rumboyz signs off, go ahead and type that into YouTube. Check out what we're doing. We're covering a lot of different sports over there. We're doing a lot of college basketball lately, but we're jumping into all kinds of DFS as we ramp up to the fall season. So Green Screens Media, get Green Screens on Twitter and on TikTok. It's a ton of fun. It is absolutely where all of my free headspace goes. So check it out.
Will do. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Nick. Have a great night. Mike and I are going to cover one more topic real quick as we're heading off, and then we'll do our sign-offs and get out of here. Thank you, guys.
Always fun.
Jamie's son. Was it AJ?
Yeah.
AJ got his birthday shout out, so he said a big thank you. All right. Last topic of the night.
Oh no, I'm scared. We could keep
This
going for another hour, me and you.
We could go. We could go for 2.
Oh, yeah. It's me and you.
They should hire me to write for them or do some stuff for them. Speaking of going for 2,
you want on? I can.
I can talk. I can talk to him. I can reach out on my own.
Yeah.
Where'd my show sheet show? Hey, Mike.
Yeah. Yes.
I want you to be like the babe. Call your shot. What NFL records are being broken this year? We talked a lot about it last year with the additional 17th game. What records are going to be broken?
So I'm not going to bring up one because I'm almost positive
it's fine.
Someone else is going to bring it up. So I'm going to try to refrain. If I've watched if I've seen what you've tweeted out today.
But I've been on that for a couple of months. So.
No, I know, but I still think you're going to bring it up.
Oh, I'm for sure.
I honestly don't know if a lot are going to get broken, but I think that sacks record is done. I think that still could be. It could be JJ. I mean, it could be TJ. It might not be TJ. I mean, it could be a Bosa brother. It could be, who knows. Another one that.
How many names do you think we could? Okay.
How many?
20 sacks. 20 sacks. How many defensive players could realistically hit 20 sacks this year? With the number being 22 and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Since they officially kept track.
I'm going to throw both Bosas out there. I'm going to throw.
Let's go back and forth.
Yeah.
Say a name and I'll say one back. We'll see where we're at.
Nick.
I'll say Joey.
TJ. What's he doing?
Give me Myles Garrett.
Oh, geez, yeah. Give me. Oh, why can't I think of his name right now? Freaking A. Oh, why can't I think of his not Micah? Yeah, Micah Parsons.
I was gonna say, where's Micah Parsons there?
Yes.
Give me Aaron Donald.
You know what? I'm gonna say Khalil Mack.
That was gonna be my next one. Is Khalil
Mack.
It
could be because especially if something. I don't want to say it, but if something was to happen to the other Bosa, Khalil could easily take.
But just in that same vein, if they're focused on one.
They're focused on one.
What has that done for Pittsburgh's other pass rushers?
Exactly.
One that you brought up, Max Crosby.
Yeah, Crosby is.
There's a reality. There's a world where he hits 20 sacks this year.
Yeah. Oh, easily. After that, I think it narrows down. Because there's great players that don't get a lot of sacks. They just interfere with other shit on the field. Pitt, Cincy, Cleveland, Baltimore, Tennessee, Indy, Houston.
I had Rashawn Gary's a candidate for 15 plus.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing one person.
Daniil Hunter's a target for 15 if he can stay healthy.
Yeah. So there's guys making a run for it. Do you think last year Tom Brady was 161 yards away from the all-time single-season passing leader?
What was it? I can't remember the number.
5477. Peyton Manning beat out Drew Brees 2 years after Drew Brees set it by 1 yard. Anyone coming close? Anyone hitting that 5K?
If anyone's gonna,
I'm not on Brady hitting it.
No.
I'm scared. I'm scared off Brady this year. I don't like his offensive line. I think
this isn't a homer pick. He's not breaking it. Mahomes can get close to 5. Joe Shiesty can get close to 5. But if anyone's gonna break,
If Joe Mixon goes down, Joe Burr.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like he can.
Yeah. I hate saying this being a Chiefs fan. I know we haven't got we haven't done like divisional, what do you call it, or whatever. But I'm not picking the Chiefs to win the division.
No.
Do I think we're still good? Yes. I'm not going to get. That's just too much. You know me. I could go on.
Yes.
If anyone's going to break it with just people staying healthy, you got Keenan Allen at wide receiver. You got Michael Williams at wide receiver. You got Josh Palmer at wide receiver. You got one of my low-end tight ends that I love this year, Gerald Everett. You got Austin Eckler, who can catch a 3-yard pass and go for 40 yards or 30 yards, or whatever you want to do. Justin Herbert, if anyone's going to break that record this year, it's going to be freaking Justin goddamn Herbert.
Okay. I'm fully there with you. I think if anyone does it, it's him, unless Stafford were to do something crazy. Which
I have a feeling they're going to
plateau.
Yeah.
Yep. Which, bringing up Stafford brings me to a take I've had for a few months, and as a football fan, I pray to God.
I hope
we
you're
get
right,
to
Pat.
do this.
I hope you're right, Pat.
We had almost over 20 years ago the summer of Sosa McGuire.
How old were you?
7. Was that 2001 or 98?
It was 98.
I was 4. 2001 was when Barry Bonds broke the record.
God damn, I'm old. You were 4?
I was 4. So
holy shnikey.
We don't get the summer of McGuire and Sosa.
Nope.
We get the fall and winter
of
Chase, Jefferson, Cup, chasing after 2,000 yards. One of them breaks it. Imagine December football where they're chasing it down.
What's the record?
It's Calvin Johnson's 1964.
Yeah, that's what it is.
1964?
Something like that, yeah.
It's very close to that. Cup came just short of it, even with the 17th game. Cup has the record for regular season and playoffs in a single season.
Yeah.
As he broke, 2,200 with the Super Bowl. Yeah. I think that all three guys have advantages as they get towards the end of the season, with the Rams playing in SoFi, Jefferson playing up in
Minnesota
in a dome, and Chase has to deal with the element. Chase has to deal with the elements more than any of the other two guys.
So for you, who breaks it? Before I give my take,
I don't know who outdoes each other the most. I think Cup is your easy favorite, as he's already been close. He was inches away.
Good.
But I think Jefferson has the better talent and doesn't have the biggest wide receiver 2 taking targets and stuff away from him. Good. Whereas Allen Robinson takes away more than Thielen does.
Yep,
and T. Higgins takes away more there. Mike, your thoughts?
Okay, so I'm actually I just thought while you were talking, but I am actually fully ingrained in this right now. One thing I want to say before I give my take is we cannot, I know me and you aren't, but we cannot be remiss that the three guys we are talking about are all coming from coaches that are in the McVay tree. We cannot remiss that. The fact that you got Zach Taylor in Cincinnati from McVay, and now you got Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota from McVay, and obviously Cooper Kupp in LA. So, like you said, it's going to come down to the end of the year, weeks 15, 16 through 18, somewhere around there. Things also have to go your way, like the weather, like other stuff. One thing that also has to go your way is you need to score, you need to put up points, blah, 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 blah. The reason I bring that up is I think by then the Rams are going to have that division sealed by week 17. Okay? I think Minnesota is a year away. from, Kevin O'Connell being brand new. It took Zach Taylor a year or so. Like, they're going to put up numbers and stuff as an offense, but as a whole team, I think they're a year away from being able to maybe put some pressure against your team. Cincinnati won the division last year, or went to the playoffs. Cincinnati had a team in their division that got injured. All their running backs were hurt. They brought guys off the street 2 days before games to play running back. Lamar got hurt. I think it's going to be a battle between Baltimore and Cincinnati for the division. I think that could go to the end of the year. And if that goes to the end of the year and Cincinnati has to put up more points, Chase is going to be the one to break the record.
I like that analysis. I think
they all break 1850.
All break 1850. So with that in mind, I want to go back to sportsbooks lines because that stuff matters.
Yes, it does.
And if you feel this strongly about it, like actually had recently. I love this idea. I hope that it happens, but I bet against it. And I took Cooper Kupp's under on his receiving yards.
Okay.
And it's a smart bet because you know what the numbers are set at?
It's over 1850.
No, like for his season.
Oh.
What his season over under like sportsbooks bets are.
What?
1,300 at minus 115 odds either side.
That's it?
Well, if he gets injured, like
yeah,
it's some wiggle room. Like, but 1,300 is still a lot of yards. How many 1,300 yard receivers there were last year? Like 7.
Yeah. Maybe I'm too bullish. Maybe I'm too bullish in saying all three are going to go 1850.
I possibly. I hope so. It'd be fun.
The one thing that scares me about Cooper Kupp isn't Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
It's the elbow.
It's the elbow. Justin Jefferson's line is set at 1,400. Even though I think if he stays healthy, he goes over that. I don't know if he does. 1,400 is a lot of yards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys that's a lot of yards. And he has some big plays, but it's the difference between taking the ball to the house from the 20-yard line versus the 35.
Agreed. But the thing that gets me about Jefferson, and the reason I'm bullish on Jefferson, is I trust the new. I'm optimistic on the new offensive system compared to what they had before.
Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase is at 1,225.
People, I mean, you know me. I love T. Higgins, but to me, that's the book. That's the book saying that Higgins and Boyd are going to take stuff away from Chase. That's what the book's saying.
And it's just a lot. I'm so hesitant to say this guy's going to have 1,400 yards. This guy's going to have 1,300 yards.
So speaking of Chase, I have a question for you. Do you think the Joe Burrow appendectomy is going to affect in the first few weeks?
Yes. People have written it off as it's no big deal. It's going to be something. I know I just drafted him in the Facebook versus Twitter league as my QB1.
I would have done the same thing.
But it was one of those, what else was I going to take?
If you didn't take him and he fell to me, I wasn't letting him go by.
You have to there. But I think he starts a little bit slower. And while it's different than like, I'm thinking of like Dak's injury last year where he just was slow coming out. What does it fully mean for him weeks 1 and weeks 2? Because it didn't affect muscle mass, but you're not training as hard. You're not running as hard. You're not doing it. Have you had your appendix removed?
No.
I've heard it's absolutely miserable.
So I haven't had it removed, but I know it's different or whatever. But I had a hernia surgery,
Mhm.
and just them working on your core. And I know the appendix is different, but even them working on your core, it sucked. Getting up sucked, and now you're taking an organ out that's even deeper into the gut.
Yep. It's going to be, those muscles got moved. It's going to be different.
Yep, exactly.
Things aren't going to feel right for a little bit. And if he gets hit just right, like you ever been hit on a scar?
Yes.
That hurts.
Hurts.
It's not numb.
Nope, I got one right here on my leg.
Though that hits all those nerve endings. And he might get taken down with a body sack and get up a little slowly, and people are going to wonder, is he okay? And it's going to look like he got the wind knocked out of him. Scampers, welcome in. We are wrapping up the show. We're talking NFL records that might be single season records that might be broken this year. Are there any other records that could potentially go by the wayside?
I don't think so. And part of the reason, and this is just an overall fantasy take too, is I don't think we're ever going to see the running back record broke again because we're getting away from the workout, the bell cow. And then even at wide receiver, you're getting, you have number one wideouts, don't get me wrong, but you're getting, like say Cincinnati, you're getting these offenses that have 2 or 3 above average wide receivers who's going to spread it out. And I just think that is going to be the norm of the league. I mean, like the Jets go and get Elijah Moore and everyone's like, oh, Elijah Moore. And then they go draft Wilson, great pick. And then at running back, they did the same thing. Last year, they go and draft Michael Carter. And then this year, they go and draft Breece Hall. That's going to end up being the norm of the league. Just like Miami. You got Tyreek Hill, who broke, all these yards. But now you're going to have to feed Waddle. You're going to have to feed Cedric Wilson. You're going to have to feed Gesicki and all that. It's a newer NFL than especially me, because you're younger than I am. But it's a newer NFL than what I was used to as a kid and as a growing up. Because when I was growing up, it was feed the ball. And in fantasy, it was your first 3 picks were running backs.
Mm-hmm. What's the record for most yards with a new team first year? Because Devontae might break. I'm trying to think of best seasons with a first year with a new team. I'll include. You could probably include rookies with that. Let's say rookies with that as well. It's like 1,400 from Jamar and Jefferson. What did Randy Moss do in New England?
Oh, he had a lot.
Randy Moss. 1,500. But no, sorry, that's wrong total. That was his total. 15,000 was his total in a career. His first year in New England was 1,493 with 23 touchdowns. Like, how crazy is this? Looking back at that season, 98 catches for 23 touchdowns. That's 1 touchdown every 4 catches.
Less.
Yeah, just a little bit less.
3.8, 3.9 probably?
No, it's a little bit higher than, a little bit less than 4. No. Because 25 would be into 100 would be 4. Yeah, so 3.8, 3.9. He had 1,500. What did Hopkins have first year in Arizona? Like 1,200, 1,300?
I'm not sure. I'm looking at
it's pretty good, yeah.
T.O. in Philly had 77 for 1,200. In Dallas, he had 1,180 his first year. God, I keep forgetting he had 983 yards for goddamn Cincinnati that one year. Holy smokes!
I'm not allowed to talk. I'm not allowed to talk Chio.
I know, but I had to bring him up. You're banned.
Well, if I'm banned, can I talk about how much I hate Jordan Love? And I'm gonna vent on my Packers fandom. The amount of dick riding for Jordan Love that I see from Packers fans through the preseason. I'm glad preseason is done for the Packers, so I don't have to see their dumbass takes about Jordan Love and all of the improvement he's made.
All right. So did you watch last night?
I didn't.
Okay.
He's looked better.
No. And this isn't even about your team. This is something about my team. This new helmet that CEH is wearing looks like it was designed by George Jetson. Okay? And I don't know about you, but Ronald Jones looked fat to me. I'm sorry. Like, there's rumors that he's not making the squad. And now there's rumors that he might make the squad for sure because we had to cut, what's his name that hurt his finger? Derek Gore. We cut Derek Gore with an injury settlement, like clause thing, so he could get paid. Because if we kept him on the IR, he wasn't going to get the money that he could have, so we just cut him and blah, blah, blah. So now there's an extra spot for maybe Rojo. But if you sign a guy like Rojo in the offseason to be the complement back to frickin' CEH, and I'm not trying to besmirch his name because someone will hurt me if he hears me besmirching his name.
He's got a new besmirched list.
Oh, he does? Okay.
Yeah. Go check it out. He's got a thread built off of it because I wanted to see.
My thing with Rojo is if you're going to get signed off the streets from Tampa Bay to be the complement back, you should not be in talks about not making the team 3 weeks before the season starts.
That's fair. That's fair.
That just drives me nuts.
All right. There's one more record that could be. There's two records I think that are still also vulnerable. We'll hit them both really quickly. Receptions in a season. Cooper Kupp was 4 away from it last year. With the whatever, what's it called? With 145.
He's not getting it.
I don't think he's getting it. I think there's a chance, depending on how many deep balls Jefferson and Kupp get, there's a chance that they come close to it. But we'll see. They'd have to be making a run for it. And I don't think that either one of them get enough short passes to make that happen.
No.
The other one is passing TDs. It's possible Justin Herbert can make a run at that.
God damn you, Pat. No, I like you know I don't disagree with you.
The issue for that happening is Keenan Allen's never really topped double-digit touchdowns. He's consistently been around like the 7 to 9 range for touchdowns. Oh, Aiden, thank you. I know that makes Mike happy.
Aiden, I needed that honestly.
It's going to take Mike Williams is going to have to have 15 to 18.
So to get to it is, and it's going to take Palmer to have a few. It's going to take all of them to have a few. It's going to take Eckler to get a
Eckler's going to need like 8 to 10 from receiving.
So I want to go back to a point you just made. Is it just me, or is Keenan Allen almost the antithesis of Mike Evans?
That's why they work together.
No, Mike Evans.
Oh, Mike Evans.
I'm just saying, like they're both number ones on their team, but Evans doesn't get as many yards, but he gets all the tutties, and freaking Keenan's getting the freaking catches and the yards, but he's not getting the tutties. They both were number 13.
I would need to look at touchdown numbers more closely because I feel like, and the yards numbers, because I feel like Keenan Allen is closer to Mike Evans. Mike Evans is. It's been exaggerated his touchdown numbers with Brady.
True. No, you're right on that one.
Career wise, I think it was lower. He's always been a good touchdown guy, but I think it's been exaggerated with Brady throwing him the ball versus Jameis. So that's kind of where I landed there. But to go back to Aiden's point as we were talking,
nothing's wrong at all. Nothing's wrong. It's just the season's about to get here and it's just coming.
We're living in our heads thinking through these processes and what we think these guys are going to do. And there's so many different ways to take this, and I'm living best case scenarios for these guys, and I'm considering logging into the sports book and just putting down money on these things for the future. And it's like, is it worth it? Is this going to actually pay off for me? Is my dream for these guys going to pay off, or is it going to be struck down with an arrow through the Achilles? And I pray to God that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
College football tomorrow.
Tomorrow, the game that I'm looking forward to, not because it's going to be a great game, but just because of the lore of it and the weirdness of it, is Northwestern and Nebraska in Dublin, Ireland.
That's gonna be fun.
Did you see the thing about everyone went over there and thought there was a bunch of Husker fans?
No, I
hear about that. So if you're a new driver in Ireland,
yeah,
they consider you a novice driver for the first however long you're a driver. You have to buy a sticker from the store and put it on the back window of your car in the top left-hand corner. It's an in to notify everyone that you're a novice driver. It is the same font of Nebraska. So all these Nebraska fans went over there and they're like, oh my gosh, they have the same in that we have on the helmet, thinking they're fans, and it's novice driver.
Oh, that's great.
That just shows what that showed me was Nebraska fans.
They're not. They don't get out of their communities that often.
Too much corn.
Aiden says they have $100 from the Jags winning the Super Bowl, and that $100 means nothing because it's already the bet's been placed. So I'm sorry for your losses.
Okay, so he's gonna lose that money, but it's Aiden, and he is a Jacksonville fan.
Yep.
But I will say this, Aiden. I want on the podcast that I'm doing with Going for Two, one of my bold takes was Jacksonville winning the division because I think Tennessee's going down a little bit. Houston's Houston. If things fall right, if Peterson can bring them up and something happens with Indianapolis, when I say bold take, I don't go lightly on bold takes. Pat knows that. I freaking victory lap freaking Sam Darnold last year. Okay? So my bold take was that Jacksonville
Sam Darnold's injured foot in your mouth.
Yeah, now I got PJ Walker as the backup, and he's on my dynasty squad, so I'm good.
I like that take. It's just the Colts. Yeah, the Colts get in the way of that.
Oh, yeah. No, it is the Colts. Yeah.
So, for those of you watching, we still got a couple people watching. We do Thursday night shows. We do Thursday night commentary with the whether it's on Amazon or wherever Thursday night games are shown.
Yep.
I don't know because I stream everything.
Amazon for Thursday night.
I know they're doing most of it. Are they opening night on Amazon too?
Opening night, NBC still has their contract for opening night. So I'm going to make an announcement.
Yep.
Amazon starts week 2. That week 2 game on Amazon, you better be here because it's the LA Chargers at Arrowhead, baby. Let's go.
Also, follow us on Twitch. Create a Twitch account, and if you have Amazon Prime, we're gonna get it so you guys can subscribe to us. Jeff Bezos, he owns Twitch underneath Amazon, and as part of your Amazon Prime subscription, you get a monthly subscription to any Twitch streamer.
Right here,
which the Rumboyz are a Twitch streamer. We are close to being able to apply for affiliate. But a lot of people watch us on YouTube. But
Yeah,
if you watch us on Twitch and we get our watch time up and we get our concurrent viewers up, we can apply for affiliate, which means we can accept donations there. We can accept subscriptions there, which costs you nothing because otherwise Daddy Bezos is just keeping that money for himself because you're not using it. So send it to the Rumboyz. Help us out. It's a little bit cheaper than YouTube's subscription, the extra premium member version for YouTube. So I will be on Thursday nights with Robbie and Mike. If Robbie gets his computer fixed.
We'll go over that later.
But we'll figure that out. I'll host if I have to, and we'll make it happen. Mm-hmm. Friday nights, you'll find us Rumboyz 9:00 Eastern, 6:00 Pacific. Saturday, we have no coverage of anything. Check us out on the Discord. You'll get information on betting picks and all the good stuff there. Sunday morning, NFL AM and NFL Rum Zone throughout the day for 7 hours of commercial-free coverage. I will be in and out on Rum Zone, but I believe Robbie's planning on running Rum Zone and with Mike. Monday nights, I'll be helping head up Monday Night Football. And there you go, Aiden. Aiden needed some full screen, Pat. We'll go back to the two of us. Aiden, if you donate, I will go full screen, Pat. That is how it works. Donations start at $5, and then it starts at like 30 seconds. And as the longer it goes, the more time you get at full screen, Pat. So, Aiden, thank you for jumping in late. I know you got here a little bit late. Go back and watch the show if you'd like to. Any watch time helps us with the YouTube algorithm. It helps us get paid here at the Rumboyz. So, Mike, where can they find you?
All right, so you can find me at Drop the Mic FF. You can find me here at the Rumboyz, like Pat said. You can find me right now at Going for Two. It looks like I'll be doing I will be doing the Tuesday night show during the season. So Tuesday nights, you can find me over at Going for Two Live. Before I throw it over to you, Pat, I just want to say rest in peace, Lenny Dawson, one of the greatest Chiefs ever to live. I love that Pat Mahomes during the game yesterday came out for one play, did the choir huddle that Len Dawson made famous back in the day. And other than that, it's almost football, baby.
We're 13 days away. 13 days away from Rams and Bills. What probably could have been a really good Super Bowl. Not that Rams Bengals was bad, but that would have been a really fun Super Bowl.
Rams Chiefs would have been better.
It wouldn't have been, but we can disagree on that. You can find me at St. Patrick FF on Twitter. You find me with the Rumboyz here, and my DMs are always open. If you want betting advice, if you want anything like any fantasy advice, trade advice, if you want me to tell you if your girl is mid or hot, I will let you know.
Or food porn.
Yep, or food porn. I will hit you up with that. But that stuff I usually stick to my Facebook with.
Yeah, that is.
So I hope you guys all have a great night. Thank you for checking out the Rumboyz. And with that, cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls. What it do. Dilly.
Dilly freaking Dill.